Hello everyone, welcome to a very quick Gran Turismo 7 race review opinion piece video from Dragon Trail Gardens in the Group 4 machinery from this week's Daily Race C. In this one we're going to take a look at possibly the worst lap I've ever seen driven in Gran Turismo 7 history, but that will be at the end of the video, so do stick around for that. But before we get to that, I want to talk about why you should never quit. Why you should never give up on a race, because you just never know what's going to happen. And we're going to have a race that very much falls under that category. On top of that though, let's get a little bit controversial before we get to the crux of the action here, before the race gets underway. We are in the Honda NSX. This is the 6:30 race in the evening of Monday, so it's pretty stacked. There's lots of very, very fast drivers in front of me, and I'm going to be struggling to get a result out of this one anyway. I'm going to be struggling to make up 1, 2, 3 positions, because most of the drivers in front of me are just quicker than me. It's just a fact. But as you're going to see, because we sort of stuck to the end, we actually get a half decent result out of this and actually make some DR. Why is that? It's because so many of the drivers in front of us quit. Now, I don't understand that mentality. I know sometimes your race goes wrong, you spin out, you lose 10, 15 seconds, but why quit the race? You know, just finish the race. What even annoys me more than that is that some of these people that quit races, the moment the race goes wrong, before the cars even came to a standstill, before they've even completed their crash, they've hit the pause button and they've quit. But they same people will moan a lot about Gran Turismo 7 not having enough cars on the grid. I'm sorry, if you are somebody who quits races, then you forfeit your right to have an opinion on that, because you're part of the problem. You're quite happy to reduce the number of cars on the grid because your race has been slightly wrong. I'm sorry. If you're a quitter of races, I never want to hear you moaning about there not being enough cars on the grid. Anyway, rant over. Let's get to why this race went wrong for me. And it's all to do with this blue Renault Megane trophy, who just went off the track. They've rejoined with dirty tyres. They've meandered in the middle of the track on a kind of vitally important part of the corner. They've severely compromised me and the Italian. We go for a little bit of an aggressive move down the inside there, and then the Renault Megane trophy seems to deliberately clip the back of my car to send me spinning around. Puts me down into P15, and we lose around about, what, 7, 8, 10 seconds in the process. So that's how my race, which was already going to be very tough given the calibre of the drivers on the grid, has went completely wrong. But we're going to carry on. As we come out of the last corner, we see the Renault Megane trophy facing backwards, or certainly not facing the right direction. But that's us up into P14. But yeah, let's just take a look at what happens over the rest of this race. So we gain 1 position here as the yellow flags are out and Plebtomics quits the race, so that's us up into P13. Coming into the last corner again, we've caught up with Dan SR here in the Aston Martin, so we're going to peel off into the pits. But before that happens, we have another driver quit the race, so that's P12, still P last, but we're up into P12. Coming out the pits here, we are going to try and hopefully jump Dan SR with a little bit of an undercut. That is the plan. And as we come to the pit exit on the next lap, or a couple of laps later, that plan has worked out. That moves us up into P11. So approaching the top 10. I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. Why are we fast forwarding? Because bingo, there goes another one. That's Oscar, who's obviously spun and quit the race. That's us up into P10. And there's still one more, is there? Yes, coming into the hairpin here. The yellow flags are out. It's McSpongy that's spun. As he's recovering, we are going to go round the outside of McSpongy and take P9. So there you go. We've made up, what, 5 positions? Possibly 6. And we've not really done anything. All we've done is just driven round the track and take advantage of people quitting the race, and P9 is where we were to finish. But yeah, I just don't understand the mentality of quitting the race. I get it, you know, sometimes your race is ruined and you're way behind and you feel like all is lost, but you know, sometimes you can pull out a half decent result in a strong lobby. And if you're in the search for DR, then why would you ever quit? Because even with that result, we managed to gain driver rating. But beyond that, you know, personally, if it was up to me, if you quit the race, I would fine you 2 million credits. If you didn't have 2 million credits in your account, your account will go into a deficit, your car will be confiscated, and you don't get it back until you've got enough credits to pay for it. But yeah, that's just me. You know, for me, actions need to have consequences. But before we finish the video, let's take a look at what I think might be one of the worst single laps I've ever witnessed in Gran Turismo 7 history. And it's our Renault Megane friend that I think deliberately took me out. But before we get to that, we've already had an incident into the hairpin. We went to go down the inside of the Citroen and lost the rear end on the power, which has moved them down to 12th place, and then got the Italian and myself just behind them. Coming into the left, right, left sequence, they're again going to go off the track here. They're going into the gravel, they're going to get dirty tyres. They come back onto the track, they just kind of meander in the middle of the track in a really awkward kind of situation for myself and the Italian. I just decided to go down the inside here a little bit. It's maybe a little bit aggressive, but they've kind of just meandered on the track. I could maybe have left a little bit of room on the exit there as well, and then they kind of just swipe us across to clip our rear end and spin us around. I think it was deliberate. I'm not 100% sure, but it certainly felt deliberate at the time. However, it's not the end of the trials and tribulations for this driver's lap here. They're going to come into the last corner, they're going to spin once again. Is that 3 times they've managed to lose the car in the space of pretty much half a lap, not even a complete lap. And then they're going to carry on, and at the last second they're going to cross the white line there and go into the pits. So that's of course going to result in a 3-second penalty, which is going to conclude one of the single worst laps I've ever witnessed in Gran Turismo 7 history. They quit the race as they exit the pits. But let me know what you think of my rather strong opinions that I've expressed in this video in the comments below. All I ask is that you keep it constructive, keep it critical. I don't mind you disagreeing with me vehemently, but I don't accept any kind of abuse because I've got an opinion on something. That's what these videos are for, is to share our opinions on various things Gran Turismo 7, and I look forward to hearing you. And before I finish the video completely, selfish plug for my other channel that I have on YouTube, Womble Leader World of Tanks console. If you like tanks, explosions and banter, then do check it out. I'll leave a link in the description. I'd love to see you in the chat on my other channel. Thanks for watching, folks. Bye bye now.